Hi, I'm Marie, and welcome back to Let's Build Harvestowne. And today we are focusing on the cafe that neighbors the Capricorn office building, or the Capricorn offices. So this is a cafe that's right next to the office space of Harvestowne, where a lot of businesses work. And of course this cafe is very popular because of that, because a lot of employees go over to the cafe to get their dose of caffeine before going back to pulling an all-nighter. So yeah, this is the cafe. Unfortunately, I don't have get together. Yeah, I think it's called get together. So I wasn't able to put like a coffee station or a cafe station. I think, yeah, coffee station would be more appropriate. Coffee station in here, but I did put in one of the lunch. What's that station called? Right now the building is a restaurant and you can download it as a restaurant, but you can of course change its venue type. But as you can see, I included one of those university food stations where you can buy food off of. So yeah, and of course I'm trying to make this, so this cafe is, it's been here for a while. Business seems to be doing well for this, this cafe, because they're so close. They get the traction from the office building, so it's a fairly stable building, or like stable financially, I guess. So yeah, I was just trying my best. I did go for a lot of green, and you'll see later on I do include a pop of yellow in here. Green and yellow is my favorite combination of colors, though I feel like sometimes I overdo it, and I feel like I make all of my builds green and yellow, but I don't think the builds that necessarily all of the builds I've been showing thus far have been like that, but I don't know, I just like the color scheme of green and yellow a lot. So yeah, I'm just finishing up the entrance area and trying to find a nice rug for this middle area, but then I found a really long rug that leads kind of to the second floor. So yeah, this cafe, I see a lot of, you see a lot of young adults, a lot of adults, even elderly people coming in here a lot. Teenagers probably as well, though I feel like there wouldn't really be that many teenagers, because the one place that I do have a teen hangout on this street is the gym, and the gym has is the New Leaf gym. If you guys haven't seen the video that I've made of the gym thus far, you should check it out. But in that gym, they have a special, so people they have a special deal in that gym where you get to have free tea while you work out there. So I feel like most of the teenagers in town are not really coffee people, they're more tea people. It's just all of the young adults, young adults drink a lot of coffee because they need that caffeine to handle their insane hours at the office. So yeah, and this is actually this is the last building for this road, though of course we get to see the office. This video is going to be split up into two parts. Right now we're just focusing on the cafe portion of this build, and then we're going to get over to the actual office building, because the office building is very big. Like, the video so far, it seems like it's going to be 30 minutes total, and I have to mentally prepare for me to talk that long. I think the only time it got that long before was the Salt and Pepper Bistro. So yeah, it's going to be, you're going to see a lot of portions, because this, of course it's an office building, so there's multiple different layers and multiple different kinds of, types of office spaces. Now this building is technically a restaurant, One, because I couldn't include the, I don't have get together, so I couldn't make this a cafe nor put in the cafe station. My substitute was putting in the, that one food, not food stall, but, whatchamacallit, what's it, like, that one place where you can buy food from at the University Commons, that came with Let's Get to University, or like Let's Discover University. It's kind of hard remembering the expansion names for some of the Sim 4 expansions because they're kind of a bit generic. But most Sims expansions kind of don't have really elaborate names to begin with, so I digress. So yeah, this is a restaurant. If I did have get together, I would put in a cafe thing. Though, however, this building isn't actually going to stay a restaurant for long because it is an office building, and this building is going to be made compatible with the the Turbo Careers mod by Zerbu. So when that happens, this venue is going to change to one of the special venues that comes with the mod that allows my business, tech, and writer sims, when they go to work, they will go to this building to go work at, essentially. But at the moment, it's just a restaurant, so I would, so my sims will be able to visit for now. I know I do renovate parts of this build, especially upstairs with the, I do renovate the kitchen area and the kitchen spaces quite a bit, and I move things down, around, which you'll kind of not necessarily see in the photos unless I redo them at the last second, but, you'll definitely see once you download the build, because I was a bit unsatisfied with the kitchen area and I wanted to change things up a bit. I think it's because I put all of these herb decorations all over the place, and it was kind of like me trying to figure out like what should go where, and it kind of ended up being a little bit more messier. Also, I think I attempted to put in one of the coffee stalls in this build that came with either University or City Living, but I don't think I was able to fit it in. Or maybe I was. I don't know. I would have to double check. I kind of stepped away from the build for a bit because I was busy recording other stuff. So I remember I renovated it, and then I kind of forgot what the renovations I made to it are, besides like general things like renovating the kitchen and putting a lot more coffee, putting in a lot more coffee bags all over the place. So yeah, that was the only like gripe I really had with this build, was probably the kitchen area, but I fixed it up. And, sometimes you do have to return to buildings you previously made, because there's things that changed. Your ideas of what you wanted in the build have changed, and you want it to be reflected in the video. So yeah, and for the most part, I was going to speak generally on what the build is, but I guess I can digress more into the story of Harvestowne. I hope you guys have been enjoying like the small machinimas. I'm trying my best to actually connect the business side of, the lots, the community lots, and try and tie them into the neighborhood story. So we're going to see how that goes. But yeah, so far Harvestowne, I'm very excited once we finish up building Harvestowne. However, we got a lot more neighborhoods to go through. Harvestowne is comprised of like the entirety of Willow Creek and the entirety of Newcrest, and then there's a bit of Oasis Springs, but Oasis Springs there's not going to be many characters who, actually there's no characters who we're going to explore. That is from Oasis Springs. Oasis Springs is kind of my outskirts of, I kind of interpret Harvestowne comprises of, you know, Willow Creek's Newcrest, and then like the outskirts are kind of like are Oasis Springs. So yeah, but I have been enjoying trying to like give you guys tidbits on what I'm thinking of regarding the stories thus far. And you know, I don't think the cafe is really going to be I think the cafe is going to be more of a whatchamacallit. If we're going to have Sims, I don't think the cafe is going to be a super big lot regarding that, because I feel like we're going to be focusing a lot more on the the office building than per se the cafe, though I feel like the cafe would be a good place to, you know, have Sims spill the tea with one another or have big confessions and what have you, you know, as you do in The Sims, trying to find the best place to, you know, have a breakup or have a relation be started or something along those lines. But yeah, here I am just filling around with sunflowers as centerpieces and me trying to make the arrangement be unique. I know, yeah, I do, here's a small coffee station, you know, because I feel like the office building has like a deal with the cafe where it's like, hey, can we have like a go-to coffee station for our employees, but we'll pay you back. Like they, you know, the company, the office building is like, we'll charge you a certain percentage of the profits that come from here, so long as you allow, you know, the employees who rent out this space to use this coffee station for, not for free, but just like for easy access, because I think they'll still charge you, you'll still be charged to brew coffee here. So it's like something that the office building, that's one benefit of using this office building, is that you get easy access to the coffee of the from the next door cafe. So yeah, there's a small coffee station for employees from next door to just like, you know, quick come down and grab some coffee and then go immediately back to work, because they need to get back to work and start making money. So yeah, the second floor, like I said, I do renovate it quite a bit, especially the wall that's in front of the bathroom. I realized that I think I changed the paint regarding that, and I also changed, because I put 2 light fixtures on there from those 2 circle-like fixtures from university, which you'll see me do eventually. I eventually I change the wallpaper and I take those lights out to put in a arguably a kind of more, I would say, a better, you know, back wall, because right now it seems a little bit uninteresting, because it, you know, it's same kind of, the brownish color scheme was kind of getting to me at this point when it came to, you know, the second floor, at least when it came to paintings or not, and I needed a little bit more spark of color and what have you. So yeah, I'm trying to handle that jazz. So yeah, the cafe is kind of just like a small footnote. It's more practical for my Sims than per se like essential, you know, but it is effective. Now I do like this rug that I have right here. It is a little bit too big, but I was able to cover up the portion that is in that kind of carries over into the office space. I am able to cover that up, and I have this I just really like how this rug looks, because it does give that kind of spark of color that is needed, because, you know, I go with brown, because the one thing I was worried about was that because I was going to green, is that I didn't want to give this building like Starbucks vibes or give off the impression that it was just like, you know, this is just Starbucks. So I tried to, you know, make it a little bit more distinct. Now I do get rid of curtains. That's also another change with the venue since the renovations. I do actually change the curtains as well. Well, at the time I got rid of those curtains, and then when I came back I put more effective curtains on the second floor. I would say I wouldn't say there's a lot of renovations happening downstairs. Besides, I made a mistake regarding bathrooms because I made them too small. But upstairs, there's a significant amount of changes. However, I wasn't recording them at the time. But at least when you guys get the venue, it'll be a little bit better. And I'll try and make sure that, you know, I will include pictures of the current renovation, because I think at the moment it's still kind of pictures of the old renovation. So I'll swap them out while editing. As you can see, I like I record the time. I do the time lapse and then I record over it, and then, you know, I finish up the rest of the editing after I finish the recording. That's how I usually take care of my videos, because that way I can just, you know, that way it's easier for me to make the commentary, because I won't have to pause to wait for the machinima to be over and what have you, and I can also get away with having this video be easier to be exported as well. But yeah, so now we're getting to the outside portion. I went with, I think, white and yellow, or just specifically yellow, something along those lines. White and yellow. Yeah, white and yellow was the color scheme regarding the outdoor area, and it's decent. You know, I'm trying to I try my best with the grass. Sometimes that like grass texture, that one grass item works, but the color, like for at least this build, the color didn't really work for it. I know that sounds vague, but I can't really remember the names of the Sim 4 items like at all, and you know. And here I'm finishing up the, I didn't get to talk about it, but I kind of see this back areas that, you know how the sun, you know, there's a local farm area in Harvestowne. That's why it's called Harvestowne. There's a big farm area here. And, you know, the Salt and Pepper Bistro, if you have guys seen that video, it gets fresh ingredients from the local farm, or from the farmhouse. But also, the cafe area also gets ingredients from the farm or the local gardeners as well. And though I don't think they get it from the farm. I think they get it from a local gardener, who people might actually know who that gardening family is pretty soon. Wink wink. But this is a small loading area for the truck that comes by every now and then, or the cart that comes by every now and then to drop off coffee beans and what have you, and, you know, give that to the cafe. So that's how they get their ingredients for their coffee, from this one gardening couple that lives in this neighborhood. So yeah, this is just a small loading area, and you probably saw me construct it, but I was probably too busy talking about something else. I missed this video. But yeah, we're going to be closing in on the end of this time lapse. So there's that, and I hope you guys are going to be excited to watch the second part of this, where we go over to the office area, because trust me, it's going to be a big video. Right now it's like at 30 minutes, or like, yeah, 30 minutes, and I have to mentally prepare myself to start talking regarding that video, because oh boy, it's gonna be a long one. So yeah, thank you for watching. I very much appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know in the comments if you actually if you have a name for this cafe. At the moment, the cafe doesn't really have a name, because it got caught off in me naming the building. So if you have any suggestions for a name regarding this cafe, I would love to hear it. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and